So in this lesson, we are going to look at the charts. Especially in Excel, we can create various different types of charts. So most common one in Excel is a column chart. That's exactly we are going to start. And then we will have line charts, pie charts, bar charts, area charts, scatter, and so on. But the first few usually prefer in your examinations also, usually they talk about column, line, pie, and bar. That's also possible, but mainly these are the four main types we need to look at it, right? Now the creating chart is easy. Usually these charts are located in insert tab. So you go to insert and then select the suitable chart. So to start with, first of all, you type the data. You start typing the data and then you select the data area. I will show you this. You select the data area, then you select the chart type. Then after that, you can change. In data information, you can change. Right? So this is to indicate what will be your x-axis, y-axis, and then you can label, right? You label your data. So that is possible. So that is what we call change of information. Now for that, we have to use select data button. Again, I will show you in the test when you perform the practical. And then once you finish it, you can provide other parts of the chart, like giving a title, name for the chart. You can name the axis. Right now for that, if you go to layout, there are various things that you can edit up. And then finally, you can have chart tools, right? So for example, you can change, you can insert pictures, shapes, text boxes, and so on, right? You can give a formatting styles, right? So these are the features available in Excel. So let me open Excel. And then let me share it with you. Please follow the steps properly because I'm going to give you as a homework so that you will work on this. Right. So to share this, right? So this is the Excel. So the next one, I'm going to type something. So I'm going to talk about some products exported. Let me say this is as export income, right? From multiple products. Right? So let's say we are using multiple exports. right? So we will have, say, tea exports, we'll have rubber, we have coconut, right? So let's assume that these values are given in right in US dollar millions, USD millions, right? Because usually we have so sorry, this tea rubber coconut should come here, so I will no. Okay, so products will be here. So in this simple data set, it will show us export income in USD millions for the years 2017, 18, and 19 for agricultural exports, tea, rubber, coconut, and spices. So let's draw a chart for this. So the step one, usually you can start with selecting the data range. Second one, you can go to insert, then you can select the chart you want. So I'm going to select, right, column charts, and then I can specify, right, which one I need it. So I will click like this to get the basic chart. So this is the basic chart I'm getting, right? Okay. Now the next thing is you have to name this data appropriately. Now for that, you go to select data. So you choose select data where we can actually give the labels. So I will put this, okay. Before that, I have to take this to a side because otherwise we cannot change. So I will take select data again. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the values. So first of all, now here you will see, right, we have series 1, 2, 3. This is for the years, right? So we have 4 products here. So the best would be, if you want, you can switch these columns so that you have years here, right? And then we can have products. Right now, we have the other way around. So maybe if you want to switch it, you can switch it from here. So when you switch it, what you will get? From one side, we'll get the labels. So I'm going to select series 1. I'm going to edit. Let's say T. Now we know that the blue color represents T, and we know the export income is 1,500 for the first year, and then 1,400, and it's 1,600. Okay. The second one, again, I'm going to edit, and then I'm going to select rubber from here. Now you see the orange color is rubber. Rubber is very, very small compared to the export income. We couldn't even see the variation. Third one, I'm going to edit. I'm going to select coconut, right? So gray color, we got the coconut. So we have seen slight decrease in the year 2018, but 2019, you see, is again slightly increased. And finally, we will have spices, and this is what you will get. So the change I would do actually to make this one, right? And these are the 3 years. So let me change horizontal axis, and then I can do this in a single shot, selecting the whole area. So which will give us this, right? Area 2017, 2018, and 2009. Now, once you do that, you can click OK. The second step is you can provide axis labels. There are two ways that you can do this. First, you can go to quick layout and then you can select the way your graph you need. Now you can see multiple ways here. So if you change it, you see the graph has changed with different ways. But I will prefer the very basic one where we have legend. We have axis labels like this. We have a title, we have x-axis label, we have y-axis label, and the legend, the simplest one, but there are many others you can select from. Right, so I'm going to select this one. Right, now I can change. Now we know the title of this is export income. So I can say, okay, export income, right? From agricultural products. So this will be agricultural products, yes. Now this side we have income, we know this is income and we know it's in USD millions. And this time we have years, right? We can have year. So we know now year 2017, what has happened compared to 2018 and 2019. Okay, so I will print this and share this with you. So as a first homework, you should do this, right? I will show you one more time how you're going to prepare this. Okay, so make a note of the steps and I'll be posting video as well. So in case if you are missing, you can go through it again. Right. So let me delete this and let me start from the beginning, the steps I have done. Now, the very first step is this one. You select the date area. Then you go to insert, you select the chart type. Right? I'll take into a side so that I can make the changes. Now you see right now with the labels, this will actually compare tea, rubber, coconut spices separately, right? The way you have the values. But if I want to compare, products in each year, then I want to switch columns. So I will going to do this with select data, where first of all, I switch row and columns. Why I did it, basically depend on your requirement. So sometimes you don't have to do this. This is fine in some cases. So, but in my case, I wanted to have, right, years in the x-axis and then the products in this fashion. So I switch row and columns. So once you perform the switch, you can change the values as well. Now we know the series in blue color represent T, so I'm going to change it. I will select it, edit, and then I select T. Right, then the second one, I will edit it. I will select rubber. Third one, edit it. I'm going to select coconut. Fourth one, I'm going to edit it. I will select spices. Then horizontal, we are going to edit and select all these years. Okay. So that would, change the basics. So I can click OK. Now then I can decide on which type I need it. So the simplest way, go for quick layout, you find the right layout for you. So in this one, I'm going to select the very basic one where we have all the axis labels, title and legend. So I will click that. And then I change the values, right? So the title I have given as export income from agricultural. That's, we say okay, export income from agricultural products. So the y-axis we have income, right, in USD millions, right, and then the x-axis you have here, right? So that's all I did. So let me save this. And what you could do also, you can share a figure or the Excel sheet. Right. Any questions if you have, or is it clear to you? Okay, next one, let's go to right your textbook. So in textbooks also we have given something, so which I would like to show you and we'll discuss the steps of working on it, right? So in charts, if you go to page number 200 and let's see. So let me give you that. Some values, right? So let me take the second one. I will get a new sheet for this. And this is again example given in your book, right? So I will have name Ravindu na Nadishen Trinity Ashwa Dilki and Jayani. This is what you have given in your textbook, right, to make the chart. Right. And then you have subjects like maths, you have science, you have English, you have history, and then you have signal, and then you have total. So you have total. So this is what you had. So you have 54, 67, 78, 54, 60, 62. Okay, so I made a mistake here, 60 and then 62. Right. Similarly, science, you have 68, 42, 56, 63, 76, 54. And English, we have 51, 47, 72, and 43, 89, and 68. Then we have history, we have 91, 65, 52, 67, 87, and 82. And similar, we have 74, 51, 53, 29, 63, 51. And finally, total, we know that we can simply say sum, and then we can have this range of values, and then you can autofill it. Right. Now, here is what I'm going to do. We are going to, like in previous case, we are going to draw a chart for this one. Now, to draw a chart, you have to select the range of data, right? Simply, when we talk about the data area, right now I'm going to select from here to here. Yes, you can actually select this one as well. This is also possible, like in this one. So let me show you that. Insert, we can go to charts, right? We can select it. Automatically, this will come, right? But in my case, I prefer the other way around, which means because we need to learn like how we are going to change this. So I'm going to neglect this one. So I'm going to select on the data area, right? So this is only data area. Now I'm going to create this one. So it's not labeled, right? Now you see, right, how this have, we can simply type the values and simply do this, right? So that is also possible. So in that particular case, so if I go with the very simple way to do is you select with all the labels, right? If you go to insert and then chart, that would create everything, right? Like in this fashion. And simply what you have to do is label axis. So I can go to quick labels and then we can say, okay, here is, we can say, okay, grade 10 student marks in 2014. So this side I can say, okay, here are the marks. Note එකක් පොතේ මම එවනවා කියලා කිව්වා මේක ලියන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. Note එක මම එවනවා පොතේ. Right. So this axis we have name. That would do the job. But then again, like you can update this one as well. Now, for example, you can go to, chart design, and then you can, use different colors. You can change, different color themes. You see, if you go like this, you will see different color variations you can select. For example, I can select this one, right? So you can individually, if you want, you can change it, right? For example, if you click only this line, let me say I want to change it to a color. We can go to forms, shape, fill. Maybe I can take red, right? So all these are possible. Maybe you could explore what is possible. Right? Now that's about creating um, a simple column charts. Now let's look at how to create pie charts. Now in this particular case, I'm going to get as a percentage the total mark. So I'm going to select only this area, and I'm going to say, okay, select pie chart. Okay, so simply we can make it a pie chart, right? And then in this one, it's not labeled, which means you know what to do. You go to select data, and this is the names of the students. So I can select Ravindra to Jayani. So that will do the trick. So we have now the names there. Now the title for this, I can remove, and maybe I can reduce the size a bit. Now we have this chart, and then we have this. Okay, so in this one also, you can change colors if you want, like you can select individual if you want, or else you can simply click this, and then there are various ways of, the chart types are here, you see, or else, you can decide the way you want. Right now, this is inside, but if you go to format, you can format it the way you want, right? Um, so especially in this particular case, if you want to have, let's say, data labels, right? And add data labels if you want. So that is actually labels inside, right? I'm going to undo. So there are a lot of things that actually you can change. Select all these if you want to see. Now in the quick layout, we'll give you some other details as well. Now, for example, how you may represent, right? Depend on how you're going to do this. And then, depend on your requirement, you can actually change that as well, right? Right now, I have selected one of the default one, right? And then you can change it. Now, we have chart title, data labels, right? So for example, I can have outside, right? If you go by whatever we have given there, right? So I can here data labels, maybe we can say outside it, and this is given. Okay, so that's how we could draw. Then we can put legend. Where do you want it? Maybe the bottom, right? You can see the bottom, and then you will get this fashion. Right? So this is given in your handout, your textbook, page number 227. So try with that one. Okay, so that's the second one that we are going to discuss for today, right? So I hope that is clear to you what we did. Simply we select everything together so that you get with everything, and then only thing we did it, we enter marks and name. And then finally we use the total. So maybe we can say total marks here as a chart title. We can say, okay, total marks, and put it like this. Okay, so that's the second one I'm going to expect. So this is given in the textbook, you could try. Now, next I'm going to discuss the third one. What is the third one? I'm going to draw, right, a small equation. I'm going to draw quadratic function, right? Quadratic function. The function is, let me increase the size of this. Right? Let me see whether I can, okay, I can have equation. Yes. So equation, I will say, okay. So I'll start with the ink equation. No, I mean, I'm not going to ink it, but a small one. Okay, so maybe I'll take this one and modify. Right now I can change it. So I'm going to say, okay, y equals, I want to have x here, x square minus 5x minus 3. Okay, this is the function that I'm going to do. Right now, let's say I want to, create this curve. Now, first of all, we need x and y values. So let's say x, sorry, I'm going to say x here. And then I'm going to say y here. Now we can define what will be the x value. So for the time being, I'm going to say y minus 2, minus 1, 0 likewise. You know that you don't have to do this manually, but what you could do is, right, you could select the first two cells and then you drag it up to where you want. I'm going to drag it up to 7, 6, 7. Right. Okay. Now the column widths are not that great, so maybe I can reduce the column widths. You can right click on it, column width, maybe I will put 4. Okay, now looks better compared to the previous one. Okay, so then we have y. Now can you tell me what is the equation I should type here? Yes, how do I type it? I need this one. Right, y is x square, right? So if I start with here, y is x square. What is x right now? It's b1, right? So I can say b1 square. So how do you write square? Okay, remember we have to use hat mark. We will have 2, right, to get the square, minus 5 times x means again we have b1 minus 3, right? That will get 11. And to fill the rest, you don't have to type it, we know. We can simply drag and it will give us the values. Okay. Now to do this, we are going to select the range. So we can select all these ranges. In this particular case, I'm selecting B1 to K2. Now I'm going to go to insert chart. In this chart, I'm going to use scatter, right? but with lines like this. So you see that, yes, the quadratic function. So we have this quadratic function, right? X square minus 5x minus 3. Right? So I can copy paste this one. Let's see, we have copy, and then I'm going to put it as a chart title. Okay, something went wrong. Maybe I can use, I will remove this. And here also I will remove this one. I'll go to home. You can take superscript. Okay, that will do the job. Okay, now looks good. You see how I drew the formula? So that is the third one. Again, I will expect from you. So go to your textbook, page number 227. That's the third homework. Sorry about giving you a lot of homeworks, right? There's no other choice except, you have to try yourself. We would have done in the, practicals, but let's see, depend on what might happen in the future. Maybe we need to. Right. Any questions you might have? So let me explain one more time, right? How you may create this. So I'm going to delete the graph for the time being, right? And I will delete this one as well. So you have given the equation first. So you need the X range, X value range as well. So what I did is, right, X value range, I have typed the first two ones with the same interval. So I will go up to where I want the values, right? That's the first step. Second one, you calculate the y values by typing the equation. Equation is x square Yonal, what do you mean by the first one? First chart? Oh, this one. This is the third one. You need the first one? Okay. Once I finish this one. Okay. So then what I calculate is a y value. So y values is I have to calculate the x square, meaning like x here is b1. So I will take b1 square, the exponentiation or the power of, we use hat mark, that means shift and 6, and then square minus 5 times, we can say b1 minus 3. So when you press enter, if you have done it correctly, you should get 11, and then you copy paste here or drag. Now to draw this one, I'm going to select this range, go to insert. This time I'm going to prefer scatter. Now what do you mean by scatter is relationship between x and y, and then you can select this one, and then you can change the chart title, right? We can say, okay, y equals x square minus 5x minus 3, right? So x square means right? We can go to home, go to click font dialog, and then you will take superscript. Right. So that's the third one. Okay, so Yonal requested me to show the first one. So let me show the first one again one more time, right? The first one, actually what I did, right? I selected only the data area. I could have actually selected others as well, but I selected the data area. The reason is that is the basic way to draw graphs, charts. So in this one, you will see the very first thing is you select the data area, you go to insert charts and then select whatever the chart you need. Now in this chart, what do you see here is this axis, we have tea, rubber, coconut, and spices. And these labels will give you the number of years. Now to change this, we can go to select data, right? I'm going to switch these two, switch row and column, which will give us, right, years separately. And this. So next one is you change the series. The first one we know it's T. So the second one, we can change it to rubber. Third one, we can change it to coconut. And then fourth one, we can go to spices. So by doing so, now we know we have completed the legend, meaning like we have selected the labels for this. The next years you can do in one shot, you can select ranges like this, right? That will do the job. Now the next one, you can format the chart. You can have the way you want, right? So in this particular case, I have only chart title. I need XY labels as well. Right, now to do this, we can select the layout from here. I'm going to use the simplest layout possible. And now you will see here we have chart title and then axis labels. Right? So the chart title we could say chart title, you can say it's export income, and the x-axis you can say year, and y-axis we can say income in USD millions. Okay, so I can now type chart title. So in this particular case, I'm going to select it and I'm going to say, okay, export income from agricultural products. So we can say agricultural products. And then this side I can type income in USD millions. And this side we can have, right? So that's all. So this is exactly the way I want. Right. And I hope you had done it. Right. Now, the change of cells, I will go back to the second one as well. There was a request to explain the pie chart. I will check pie chart as well. And the change of the size of the cells. Now that you have to do by selecting these. When you click and drag, you can select the columns, isn't it? And then you can right click, then there's a column width and you can change the values. Right, let me put 6, for example. We'll reduce the size of the column width. The next request is the pie chart for total marks. We have selected this, right? And then we go to insert pie chart. Now simple pie chart look like this, not very good. So you can look for the way you want, right? But before that, let me change the select data because I want to give the names. We want to get the names of students. So I'm going to select from here, edit, and I will select all the students, which will give me the student details here, right? And then you can decide what you want to do, right? Now, for example, here, I will go from here. We can go for data labels, like I can say, okay, I need it outside. But what you need is, you can decide, like whether you need percentage marks. So you have a lot of details are here, right? But what do you need? The label details, what do you need? You can select, right? Now, what we need is not the values, but what we need is the percentage values. So what we need is percentage value. So we can go for data labels. I can say, okay, I needed a outside. Yeah, that's better. That is also possible. But then again, I can say, okay, I need what? Not the values, but percentage values. So we can go to more, and then instead of value, I can say percentage values. Right? So that's possible. And then again, that's all we need for this one, and then we can say total marks. So all these possibilities are there, total marks. It will give you the percentage value by this. But you can actually change it from here if you want. See, already they have come up with the different styles. So you can select one of the styles if you want. Okay, so that's about the chart. I hope you got a good understanding of the charts. So with that one, actually, we will finish Excel part. Now it's up to you guys. I want you to practice. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to teach you separately. Maybe we can conduct a lab class, but anyway, you have to try. So if you fail, please contact me. So I have seen like now you are sending me the homework. That is a good trend, right? Because practice makes you perfect. Right. Having said that, let's do a couple of questions now. Since we have done theory, let's take a couple of questions, right? Relevant to charts, sorry, Excel, right? So let me share the screen. So I will go to the note and you will get the note anyway, so you don't have to type it. So I want to work on couple of problems, right? So this is actually, okay, we'll first look at the answers for this, right? So let's talk about the answers. Good that you, majority of you send me the answers. So when you want to copy this to the right, it means we discuss, it will change the column. So the answer for this is equal, A will be B, right? So it will be B1, number will not change, plus again A will be B, number will not change. Then B will change to C, number will not change. So that's the answer. And if you copy one down, then it should change the row. So we will have A, sorry, I'm going to get it, that's red color, equal, right? A2, no change for the column, but only the row. So A3 plus B2. So 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 3, 1 becomes 2. So A2, A3, B2. So this is the correct answer for the first one. Similarly, once you have dollar marks, what we discussed last time is it will restrict for any changes. Now this is actually mixed referencing. So we have dollar marks only for 2 and for B. So let's see how this will work, right? So the first one, A will be B, right? No change because there's no restriction. Only columns will change. So A again will be changed here, no problem. And here it's a restrict. We have a dollar for B, meaning we can't change it. So we have to type dollar $B as well. So no change for B1. Similarly, when you copy down, right? So we can say A, no change for this, but 1 becomes 2. Then again, A, okay, you can't change it because there's a dollar mark for 2. So we'll type it as it is. Then you will have dollar $B, no change, but 1 becomes 2, isn't it? Because we have dollar mark for B, not for 1. Okay, if you restrict both one, this is what will happen. Now here, we first have to change the column. So A becomes B, right? No change for 1. And dollar $A, dollar $2 means you can't change. So it will be exactly as it is. Now, similarly, if you go down, it will become, right? It will become A becomes A, no change for that side, but 1 becomes 2, plus Okay, no change for both A and B, sorry, A and 2. So you have 12. So this is the correct answer. So most of you have actually sent me the answer. Good that you send me the answer. Now let's look at some exam questions. These are like examination questions. So some places there might be some errors. Please bear with me and I will give the correct one. So in this one, you have given a spreadsheet. So this is how you will get questions in the exam. Right? Now that's about the CO2 emission. So this is about CO2 emission. Right? The following spreadsheet segment shows CO2 emission. Some Asian country. You don't have to take down this. I will send the paper as well. I want you to write down the formula that should be written in cell D4. Okay, where cell D4? Cell D4. D4. That means here. Right? So it says difference is year of 2014 minus value of 1972. Simple as that. So can you write the equation in the chat quickly? We have 4 minutes to finish. What is the equation? So it's about the Bangladesh. We know in 2014, it's about 73,189 point something. And then 1972, it's about 3,509 point something. Yes, the difference. So what is the equation? Yes, good, you are getting it. Equal sign. What is the equation? Value of 2014. What is the value of 2014 for Bangladesh? That is, yes, C4. Remember that in the exam, if you miss equal sign, you will get 0 marks. Remember, equal sign is important, right? The first of all, it's C4. Now C4 will give you, right? C4 will give you the CO2 emission for 2014 for Bangladesh, right? Minus, what is the value for 1972? So that is B4, isn't it? So the correct answer for the first part should be minus C4. Minus C4 means CO2 emission in 2014 minus CO2 emission in 1972. Okay, good. Now let's try to the second one. Okay, try the second one. Write down the formula that should be written in cell E4. To calculate the percentage increase of CO2 emission from 1972 to 2040, equation is given. Right. So what is the equation? Oh, come on. Right. What is the difference? What is the equation for difference? Difference we have already shown. Now difference is given in D4, isn't it? Yes, difference is given in D4. So you have difference is in D4. Divide by, what is the value of the year? Value of the year. It's B4, right? So you divide D4 from B4 and then you multiply by 100. So you don't need the brackets. Brackets are okay because it's division and multiplication. So anyway, so you have precedence. So brackets are not necessary in this case. Okay, let's move on to the third one. Assume that the two formulae entered in D4 and E4 are copied to cell range D5 to E10. Okay, so D5 to E10 we have copied. Now ask, write down respectively two formulae displayed in cell D9 and E9 that are related to Sri Lanka. If you copy this to Sri Lanka, what are the equations? So that's the question. Yes. Quickly, can you tell me? For Sri Lanka. Now this is, we know, let me copy this again. C Control V. I'm getting another copy. So I will take it and put it here for Bangladesh. Let me reduce the size as well. So this is the difference. So this is the equation for Bangladesh. Right? This is the equation for Bangladesh. Right? So this is for Bangladesh. The question asked, what is the value for Sri Lanka? Simple question. right? If that is the case, what is the equation for Sri Lanka? If you copy these two, yes. If you copy this, right? So what you will get for Sri Lanka? So what happens? You copy down, right? When you copy down, what will happen? The row changes, right? Here the row is 4. Then for this one, what is the row number? That is 9, right? So it should be C9 and B9, isn't it? Now we know, right? The percentage value is, we have already written. So what we have written, right? Percentage means difference, that is D4 divide by, right? B4 into 100, isn't it? Into 100. So if you copy this, Sri Lanka, what is the equation we had, right? Now 4 should be 9, right? So instead of 4, we can put 9, isn't it? Right? So here are the answers for B9 and D9 and B9. Okay. Opute?
මොකද්ද සර් කරන්නේ?
නෑ ඊටු ටික මම එවන්නම් කියලා කිව්වේ. හරි. ක්වෙස්චන් එක මම එවන්නම් පුතාලට. පුතාලා ඊටු ටික එහෙම නෝට් එකත් එක්ක මම ප්‍රශ්න ටික එවන්න. පුතාලා ඒකෙත් එහෙම උත්තර ටික බලලා දාන්න. අපි ලබන සතියේ ඩිස්කස් කරමු. හරි පුතේ එහෙනම් මම අතට නතර කරනවා.
රෙකෝඩ් එක දානවා සර්.
රෙකෝඩ් එක දාන්න.